What's good, Wager World? It's your boy 5-Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada, and it is beautiful this morning. A perfect day. Looking at the golf course, seeing the mountains, seeing the palm trees, I can only smile, man. Another day on top, man. Top of the morning to everyone in the Wager World with us right now. Hit that like button. As always, I'm in here with my two guys. Let me start with the YG of the show. My guy, the youngest to ever manage and operate a sports casino book on the Las Vegas Strip. What's good, Cino Royale?
Wow, what's up, 5-Star? What's good, Wager World? I'm just getting back in. I got a headache a little bit this morning. I went trick-or-treating last night with the fam. That was nuts. I had a lot of candy. And I got...
Man, I didn't even think... I should have told you to come to our neighborhood, man. I wasn't even thinking about that. Next year, make sure the Lord say the same, man. Bring your daughter over to trick-or-treat with us, man. Our neighborhood be fired up.
Hey, you want to know what's crazy, bro? I actually thought about your neighborhood because where you live, I know it's nuts.
But bro, it's crazy. Bro. Yeah, because the kids are out, like us and the parents, are about like from 6 to, I'm going to say about 9, then the kids just take over the teenagers. And they all outside hanging. It's cool, man. It's a really cool experience, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it made me... I said, why didn't it made me think about, like, why didn't you come on?
Same thing, though, bro. I was thinking about you because I was in another neighborhood, something like yours.
Yeah.
Man, it was nuts, bro. They probably had, no exaggeration, about 2,000 people out there last night. Blew my mind. I posted some videos and stuff like that on X. Yeah. Almost every house had the football game shown on the projector. so much, man. But let's get these winners in. I'm excited about the show. Some more NBA. Let's get it.
Let's get the show. Y'all to warm my boy out. Look at him today. He looks tired. He's been fighting people all night. He's been talking shit to my boy about this Texas mess. Hey, man. If you got a problem with spreads, you got a problem with me. Let me tell you that, man. We're going to pull up this family right there. The OG of the show, man. The only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. He's been with me since day one. What's good, Spread Staff?
Man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow getting a little college football, and I got to watch this the stench of the NFL off me after what we witnessed last night there down in New York.
Spread, I got one question for you. On you a long time, a little bit longer than you know. See, though, we get into it about this. Do you finally believe these games are compromised?
I might have to join in, man. Oh my gosh, what did we see last night out there in New York?
Man, these games are compromised. Jets coach Ulbrich, this is his first time being a head coach for a team, so he's running his mouth too much, and he kind of said a little too much at the podium last night. If you paid attention, he said that after the catch by Garrett Wilson, he told the referee, how you going to let this moment pass right now? That could be the greatest catch in NFL history. You got to give him the catch just on effort. And he said that at the podium.
You want to know what's crazy? I seen ESPN post something this morning. One of those pages, it was like Odell Beckham greatest catch in MetLife or Garrett Wilson.
I'm so sick of New York and
bro, that
how
wasn't
the
the
media
catch.
fixes the coverage of these games and make it where their shit doesn't stink, and we know good and well that it does, and it smells really foul. Like, I'm so tired of them trying to make these New York teams into something, man. And all they doing is showing you pretty much that it's an entertainment sport that we're betting on, whether you want to, understand or not. Reminder to everyone, the NFL has always identified itself as a sports entertainment business. They argued about this. A Jets fan, remember when the Patriots had Spygate and was stealing everybody's footage? This kind of went to the forefront in court, and that's when the NFL kind of told everyone what it was, but people don't read. And I am, I love to read the fine print. That's kind of like my thing. So I knew about this many, many years ago. It was a guy, he was a lawyer, Carl Mayer, and he was a season ticket holder. He's from Princeton, New Jersey, so he's rich as hell. He Jets season ticket holder. He decided he was going to sue the NFL because he said, you guys had Spygate going. You're pretty much, what you're doing is consumer fraud. And he came from a background of working with Ralph Nader. If you guys know anything about business, Ralph Nader is a huge guy in the business world. Well, him and his lawyer, Bruce Afflin, both were consumer advocates for Ralph Nader, so they knew what they were doing with taking this to court and saying, hey, this is consumer fraud. You guys are putting out your product, and you're telling me it's one thing, but it's really another. Afflin said, he seemed to suggest that no matter how much ticket holders pay, they could be defrauded by the NFL teams, and it puts the NFL pretty much on the same level as professional wrestling. This is what the brief said, and lawyer Shepard Goldfein, who represented the NFL, he argued that fans would buy the tickets anyway, even if they knew the Patriots were stealing signs. So this isn't nothing new we're talking about because the U.S. appeals court ruled in the favor of the NFL. And pretty much what's going on is the NFL has some legal loopholes, man, that arise that allow them to do entertainment classification. It kind of is like a latitude of being able to orchestrate the game narratives and outcomes to enhance the dramatic arc of the sport. So they find a really gray area to get inside. That's why you remember games like uh, Pittsburgh versus New England. Remember when the tight end caught the ball and this should have been touchdown? I know you remember that spread because you were telling the truth that you're a Pittsburgh fan, so you keep up with their games. This was a playoff game. You guys don't remember when the tight end caught the touchdown? Yeah. Clear as day, and they said that he dropped it. They said he didn't make a football move or some nonsense that they made up in order for the Patriots to win, and that way the Patriots end up going to the Super Bowl. And then 2 weeks later, after all of the noise in the media, people don't understand. This is some of the ways that I bet these games because I understand the classification of the NFL. During that time, I'm giving you guys $1 million worth of game. I'm really not supposed to be talking about this.
For free.
But the reason why I knew to take Philadelphia in the Super Bowl because it was too much noise coming from the AFC Championship game about their drop. And the NFL is so funny. They made this dramatic arc where what happened? A Philadelphia tight end caught the same exact play. It hit the ground the same exact way, supposedly, and they called it a touchdown. And ended up being one of the reasons why Philadelphia won that game. So, guys, I always remember when you're dealing with the NFL, it does matter where the money's at. Not every game, but, take it with a grain of salt because this is one of the toughest sports to bet. And the reason why is because the NFL is a sport that goes back with gambling since the initiation of sports betting started. All of the owners of the NFL, the original owners, all were sports guys. They all were bookies. A lot of people don't know that. Go do your research. They all were bookie families that started the NFL. So you have to figure out a way to be on the same side of them in these games when you're dealing with the NFL. It's really fragile information to deal with. You just got to done it so many years like we have where you can figure it out. But it's never just what's going on the field. We saw that. Let's get to the pass spread.
All right, let's hit it up. I just want to point out as well, that wasn't Ralph Nader's first lawsuit. His first sports-based lawsuit was for my Sacramento Kings. He filed the same exact lawsuit in 2002 off that Game 6. Yeah, so that wasn't
against the Lakers.
Yep.
I'm surprised that man.
That's why I'm still a Lakers hater to this day. I'll never forget that series. I'm still mad.
Still different, because one thing that people don't understand about America is it's all about who's your platform. Ralph Nader is only known about people like us who really read and study. He's not such a popular figure that he can say something or do something and everybody knows it and follows. You have to dig and find it. So he's not a problem to them because all he's doing is going by the laws. One thing that's great about America, and I know for myself, we're dealing with the legal system as a young kid. If you go by the law, you can use the law to your benefit or you can use it to deter you, So if you use it to your benefit, they always respect it because this whole country was built on legislation. That's what it's about. It's about, different laws and using the laws of the Constitution to your benefit. And he just was using his constitutional right to go against them. He lost in both situations because you're dealing with antitrust companies when you're dealing with the NBA and the NFL. That's why I tell these people who are watching this show, man, it's bigger than just what you think with this sports betting. Like it's a much bigger world, much bigger grasp than just saying, hey, this guy can throw and this guy can catch. And until you understand the intricacies of this, you'll never be successful in sports betting because it's a lot, and you have to learn it just over years.
All right. Well, I don't know. Did you want to keep talking about that one, or you want to move?
Yeah, let's just talk just a little bit about it because I want to throw in what I saw. You throw in what you saw, and I want to throw in what Cino saw. Just real briefly, then we'll get on down the road.
All right, I'm going to just let you guys take this one. I'm very disappointed in Houston, and I don't think they received a fair shake, but they were not able to get the cover. New York's darling, the New York Jets are still alive, and we'll see when they finally get eliminated. But, there seems to be a lot of incentive for the league to keep one New York team viable this year.
I don't know why. Aaron Rodgers must have cut a new deal with the devil because they're trying to figure out some type of way to make him relevant. And we saw the biggest play of that game, and I know this one really pissed you off. spread. I know it was kind of like me telling Ian for the first time that Santa Claus didn't exist. right there, when they did that bullcrap call and tried to say Derek Stingley had an illegal contact and he doesn't even touch the man. And Aaron Rodgers messes up, doesn't know what to do with the ball, almost throws an interception, almost gets sacked. Just looks like a horrible play by Aaron Rodgers. And it just didn't go right. It's our ball. It's time for the Texans to get the ball. They have the lead. Nope. Bring it back. What can we find to think of? Oh, he checked them at the line, what you can do for 5 yards. It was clearly not an illegal contact penalty. Just that's just watching this and the way they do it on live TV. I always say the NFL is just like the government. They do whatever the hell they want, and we just keep going for it. We can't do nothing about it.
Can't do nothing about it.
We've been watching this for years. This isn't brand new. They was talking about scandals in the NFL back in 58. The Giants and the Cowboys game was one of the biggest scandals ever in football history, sports history, because everyone said that game was like fixed beyond belief. So this isn't anything new. As I said, go do the research on the original owners of the NFL teams. A lot of them are still around, the Hunt family with the Chiefs and the Marr family with the Giants and people like that. All of those guys come from a sports book background, from a booking background. So I'm not mad at them at all, man. They doing what they're supposed to do. They've been doing it for years, and they're going to keep getting money because there's not too many guys like us who are looking at what's going on. And even if we do look at what's going on, it doesn't hurt them because their product is still going to move, man, regardless of what. What did you see in that game? One small thing I'll say before I swing it to you, they made my guy C.J. Stroud start to see ghosts. He's missed a lot of throws last night that he never misses. And all that is about interior pressure. And now my girl Mina Kimes was tweeting about it today, about how the Texans have the worst guard play in the league. I'm starting to think that a lot of these guys are watching our show because on Wednesday we talked all about this, about how the guard play for the Texans might be the worst in the league. You got to have interior O-line play because as soon as CJ is snapping the ball, this guy's on him, man. So how can you get comfortable? And now when he is comfortable, he's thinking someone's going to hit him still, and he's missing throws. So the Texans got a lot to get together. Nico Collins coming back is going to be huge because he brings a bravado to that offense. So I look forward to Nico coming back next week. What you see in that game, Sino?
I didn't know the shin counted as 2 feet.
But the shin was out. Not only that, the shin was out, and it wasn't clear and evident enough to turn it over. How can you say that that's clear and evident?
Why George Pickens didn't get a touchdown like that last week?
And he tapped it twice,
and he tapped the same foot twice. So I don't know. I knew the game was fishy. Again, I bet the NFL based off of entertainment. Y'all bet however y'all want. That's on y'all. I base off of entertainment. You couldn't ask 5-star. I texted him yesterday because when I'm looking at this, I'm like, this shit ain't right. I texted him. He ain't text me back. When he called me, I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, bro.
I told you what? What did I tell you to do?
He said, I say, bro, this game not right. The Texans not gonna win. He said they're gonna win the first half of it, bro. Take first half Texans, and that's exactly what I did. We took first half and we teased the Jets up. But bro, that game was not fair last night, man. It wasn't. Like, and anybody that took the Texans, my heart goes out to you because you definitely was on the right side. They wasn't gonna let the Jets.
New York fans are such losers.
Yeah, it was like they lost 5 in a row,
guys. Like, just think about how they like their Yankee stuff. You snatching Mookie Betts' arm, and you sitting up here cheering for this fake win that you know the Jets did not deserve to win, and sitting up here talking shit like you're about to be a contender.
That whole game last night was just fluke. And again, let's just move on. The NFL is gonna do this to us every Sunday, man. You just gotta take it to the chin and keep pushing and just start playing their game. You have to beat them at their game. That's all you have to do. And over here at the wagering world, we got some good pointers. So just listen.
We're gonna beat them at their game. And if you guys didn't know, I don't know if you listened to the radio. We didn't do a YouTube last year. We did a radio version on ESPN 97.5 and on all the different outlets that were still on Spotify, iHeart, Apple podcasts and places like that. But you didn't know, Spread got some people paid last year. Spread was, what would you spread, 14-5 in last year?
Yeah, by the end of the season. Yeah, it was a great season. I'm still up on the year in the NFL. That one just hurt just the pride because everyone told me, you walk into a trap, they're not going to let Houston win. I go, no, Houston gonna do it, right? And yeah, so I was just a little disappointed.
I saw a path to victory, like I told Jay Money. That's why I didn't bet the whole game. I saw a path to victory by them not being able to block the Jets up the middle with Quentin Williams, and he did have a big game. But man, they still, with all that said, we all watched the game. The Texans still should have won that game pretty comfortably, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for them going forward because I don't think last night was a fair representation of Houston as a football team. All right, a game I did not watch because the only other thing I had on last night was the NBA. Kennesaw State was at Western Kentucky. What happened in that one, 5-star?
Man, I gave out the first half. I even gave it out free. I did a video and gave it out free to people on X, man. We were able to get by in the first half. The people who took the full game weren't as successful. For some reason, Western Kentucky throttles down at the end. I guess Tyson Hilton got that call because they changed the whole style of play in the fourth quarter. He put in his nephew in the game, and they ran it on every play. Even if it was third and long, they started going slow. I don't know what was going on with that one. And they let Kennesaw score a touchdown in the fourth quarter in order to prevent the full game. But we did catch the first half, so I'm happy about that. Moving forward, just playing out the string for both of these teams. Western Kentucky probably go to like the Popeyes Bowl in the Bahamas or something like that, like always. Kennesaw State going home, so not much on this one. I'm glad we got the first half.
Tino, did you watch that game? Did you have any thoughts?
Nope, I did not. I was all over Tulane. That's the game I was watching.
All right. Let's move to the present, though, 5-star, because I need some Saturday plays here, and we got plenty of good matchups in the world of college football. A traditional Big Ten rivalry, not the new Big Ten rivalries that are forming, but a traditional one. Ohio State Buckeyes travel to take on the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Nittany Lions catching 3.5. Usually, I like to lay the 3.5 here, but how should I be approaching this one, 5-star?
Now, we're going to be on the other side on that one, spread. I'm going to give Penn State one more opportunity to burn me. I'm going to give James Franklin one more chance to burn me. He said I can do this every year to us, spread. Like, we've taken them 3 straight years now against Ohio State. I think the first year they covered, and it was like a double-digit number. Last year, they ticked me off so bad because we got 5.5, and Penn State should have won the game straight up, but Drew Aller just shit his pants, and that's what I'm worried about in this one. Hopefully he doesn't start. They have a backup, Bo Pribula, who can play, and he's just waiting out, this season to get his turn because Drew Aller might go, in the draft. He might be like a 3rd to 5th round draft pick. Big, strong kid that can run a little bit, can throw, and everything's comfortable. But when things get mucky and ugly in the pocket, he tends to turn the ball over like he did last year at Ohio State because he sold me last year. He was looking all good and stuff like he looked at USC, throwing the ball around and running, and he got to that Ohio State game, man, and was scared as hell. And I think that he will be that way again, especially now dealing with the injury that he has. I think he has a knee injury or something, but he won't be at his full, self. So I think that that's going to make him second guess himself. So hopefully James Franklin does what's right, isn't trying to be loyal to him, and is instead loyal to trying to win this game. 2 of the best defenses in the country. Penn State is 4th ranked in the country defensively, and Ohio State is 2nd ranked. So this game is going to come down to the offense, man. And I like those running backs at Penn State more than I like the running backs at Ohio State. And Ohio State have the ones that get the most recognition. Everyone knows about the 2 backs at Ohio State, but Penn State, quietly, and Singleton and Allen have a really good backfield, man. So I think that they're going to be fired up. It's an early morning game in Penn State. Ryan Day has not been too good in these spots. He has owned Franklin, though. James Franklin's 1-9 against Ohio State, man. 7 straight losses. They're going to ever beat Ohio State. This is the time right now. We're hoping Bo Pribula plays. If he does, even if Aller plays, I still just like the number, man. I'm going to be with Penn State, and I'm going to take the plus 3.5. It's went down to 3 some places, but more money continues to flow in on Ohio State. Will Howard is the quarterback for Ohio State, and I think that Penn State can contain him. So we're on the Nittany Lions plus 3.5.
What's up, Sino? I got this thing queued up. You ready to give me the blessing to hit submit, or are you on the other side?
I'm on the other side. All Penn State do is upset their fans. That's all they do. And if Aller play, if he does play, how he gonna, handle the pass rush? Like, just looking at it. And Penn State all banged up on both sides of the balls. And I think the number will be way higher than it was. What is Ohio State minus what, 3? 3.5? Yeah. So look, it's minus 3.5. Like, so come on. Ohio State money line. Looking at my numbers right here, since 2018, Penn State as a home dog has lost all those the last 6 games. So we're gonna take Ohio State money line. Let's go.
All right, we'll see who ends up coming out on top on that one. Another one, we got a big point spread as Heisman hopeful Cam Ward and his Miami Hurricanes are laying 20.5 to the Duke Blue Devils. How are you approaching this one, 5-star?
This the Manny Diaz versus Cristobal Bowl because Manny Diaz was the coach before Cristobal was hired. He was fired and Cristobal was hired. So Diaz really been in that program forever. He's a Miami guy, defensive coordinator there before becoming the head coach. He has a really good defense like he always does. He's one of the best coordinators in college football. Duke is only giving up 18.6 points a game, or second ranked in the ACC. And Miami's defense has been a little shaky the last couple of weeks. They're giving up 34 points or more in 3 of their past 4 games, but they've been playing much better. The offense for Duke is really shaky, man. They're tied for 14th in the league in scoring. They only average 26 points per game, and they're even worse in the first half. They're one of the worst first half teams in the whole country. Miami is an offensive juggernaut, just a really good team. You know how I feel about Cam Ward. That's one of my guys. You know, he's been one of my guys, and forever is going to be one of my guys. I could see him being a really good player on the next level. And one of the reasons why is because he leads the country in third down conversion percentage, almost 60% on third down. That's immaculate. And those are the back-breaking moments that create momentum for teams where it kind of, knocks out the other squad, but we're able to cover. Hurricanes are also ranked number 1 in the nation in points per game. They're averaging 46.8. Cam's second in touchdown passes with 24. A lot of really good players, and he's third in passing yards, 343. I think that early Miami just overwhelms this Duke team. So give me the first half, Miami minus 11. I also take them for the game minus 20.
All right. What do you think on that one, Sino?
Simple as that, man. Cam Ward about to show his Heisman capability this weekend. We definitely all over the Hurricanes.
All right. And both you guys on the Hurricanes. Let me place that one in there now. Next game on the docket. Illinois, right? They coming off a tough loss last weekend. Now they're hosting the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They're catching 3 at home. How do you see this one?
If the number looks funny, it's probably money. There's no way that Minnesota should be minus 3 on the road against Illinois. Bielema is 10-0 in his career against Minnesota. He's 7-0 as the Wisconsin coach and 3-0 since he's been in Champaign as the Illini coach. Illinois is also 5-0 at home this season. So why in the world would a team with a better record and it hasn't lost at home be the underdog in this game? Maybe because the books see a road to victory for Minnesota, and Minnesota's a hot team. Max Bromser, their quarterback, has really did a good job of becoming a passer. 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions this year. He brings something to that Minnesota offense that they have not had. They also have a really good running back, great receiver in Daniel Jackson. Illinois, on the other hand, they're going to be dealing with the fact that they lost their top running back, Caden Fegan, and also Pat Bryant, who was their top wide receiver, was in concussion protocol. Now, Bielema said on Monday that he played because concussion protocol is different in college football and NFL. When in NFL, we already know if you're on concussion protocol on Monday, you're not playing the next week. It's different in college. So he's going to play, but how much practice time has he gotten? Is he shaky right now? Is he a little foggy still from the concussion that he had the prior week? And also, you got Illinois, even though they're at home, they traveled to Oregon and got beat up pretty bad on the offensive and the defensive line. They got blasted. So do they still have the type of fight that they had before going to Oregon? Now they're going to come face another team that likes to mold you and hit you in your mouth with Minnesota. I'm going with Minnesota money line on this one. I think that they pull off I guess it wouldn't be an upset because the books have them favored, but I'm going with the road team on this one. It's really hard to win on the road in the Big Ten, but the books see something, I'm going to ride with them.
What do you see in this one, Sino?
Our big brother giving away all the game. If the line look funny, it's usually money. And yeah, for real. In Illinois, they failed the cover in the last 10 out of 11 games against unranked opponents. So come on, man. At home, you gotta ride these guys. We're on Minnesota. Easy money.
All right. I'll jump in. I'll join you on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Oregon Ducks travel to face their new Big Ten rival, the Michigan Wolverines. This used to be reserved for a bowl game matchup only, but now we're seeing these every week. And as much as I didn't like it at first, it has been some quality college football with these matchups. So maybe I was quick to complain. Still a little sad my Pac-12's gone, but we're here. But the Michigan Wolverines, Sino's favorite team. We got to start with you, Sino. You're the Michigan Whisperer. Are they going to cover this 14.5, or we wait until next year to back this team?
To be honest, I think Michigan. They back in the big house, big dog. They should cover these points. I don't know about winning, but we're not going to take that side based off the way they've been playing. I love the over in this game. I usually think when the dog's going to cover, it's going to go over because they have to put up points, right? Mm-hmm. So both teams score here, and I think it goes over whatever that total is. I haven't looked at it, but it should go over that.
All right, 5-star Sino's jumping back on the Michigan train. Do you think he's got the right ticket, or maybe not this week?
Michigan,
yes sir.
we on the Big Blue, man. Go Big Blue this weekend. We know Sherrod Moore doesn't have even half a quarterback over there, but the main thing that we're going to count on is that the big house is able to do what it was not able to do with Texas and be a real home field advantage where that defense comes to play, man. If we get a good defensive showing for Michigan that can keep this game close enough. It's just too disrespectful to a program coming off a national championship. I know they're missing a lot of guys, but it's still a lot of pride out there in Ann Arbor, man. And I don't think that a place that Bo Schembechler built would allow a new booty into the Big Ten like Oregon just to come over there and embarrass them on their home field. They already got embarrassed by Texas, man, but not a conference game. So we got to take the double digits in this. We're going with the plus 14.5 for Michigan, man.
All right, for the underground and the underdogs, talking about
right. That's what we do.
Michigan matchup, and I can imagine the public's gonna like Oregon after how well they've been playing this year. So won't get caught up in that trap this week. Texas A&M travels to South Carolina. South Carolina, a home dog. Is this another situation where we take the underdog 5-star?
We're in another situation where if the line looks funny, it's probably Monday. We're going with South Carolina on this one. I would not be surprised if South Carolina wins this game money line, man, because A&M just had a miracle victory against LSU. If you watch that game, me and Sino both played the first half. We won. Second half, we looked as fans, and it was one of the most disappointing games as an LSU fan you ever want to see. And I know that A&M, they partied. They had bonfires. They had those pretty girls out there in those cowboy boots dancing in those little Daisy Dukes and taking shots and doing a lot of things because I partied down there in A&M, and I know how they get down. It makes no sense to me that South Carolina's only getting 3 points at home, 4-3. But one thing to look at is A&M is 3-5 against the spread this year, and South Carolina's 5-2 against the spread this year. All we got to find out about South Carolina is we got to see how do they deal with Marcel Reed. We know he'll probably be the quarterback this week. We won't see Connor Wegman giving us free opportunities. We're going to see Marcel Reed, who's kind of efficient, and he has some scrambling ability. But I do like South Carolina's home field advantage. I do like their competitiveness. I like how Shane Beamer has those guys ready to play. I don't know which quarterback we get this week from South Carolina because sometimes they play sellers. And lately, they've been playing more the transfer kid, Robbie Ashford, who came over there from Auburn. But I can tell you one thing about Sellers, man. He just needs more snaps. Lenore Sellers is a really good player. And I think that the book's anticipating them having a really good game. They looked incredible at Oklahoma, dominating them 35-9. Stayed right there with Alabama on the road, 27-35. So I think that South Carolina wins this game money line against A&M. This is a letdown spot. So we'll be on the +3 with South Carolina and money line.
You joining us, Sino?
Yes, sir. My guys on it today. You got to think about it. A&M, they just came off a crazy win against LSU, right? Now, you're about to go to a team, South Carolina. They came close to beating LSU and Alabama as underdogs. And then they got a week to prepare for this team right here. It's a trap. People going to be teasing Texas A&M up money lining. I'm with 5-star on this one. The Gamecocks. Let's go South Carolina.
All right, let's go into the NFL. And the first one, 5-star, that you threw on our agenda is a game that I have a play on. And I took the Denver Broncos. I took them at 9.5. It's probably still good at 8. You know, we like to get those extra points, but 8 to 9.5 isn't the huge move. We know that the key number, right, would be 7 to 8 or 9.5 to 10. And the strength of my handicap is really that these teams, the Broncos have the better defense now. And so the question around the Broncos, and this is what they get an opportunity to prove this week, is the defense really that good, or is it a product of that last place schedule and some of the easier matchups that they have had this season? But with the work that Sean Payton's doing with Bo Nix, I know a lot of people are down on him from a statistics standpoint, but when you look at what he's doing in the game, he's managing the game. He's doing what Sean Payton's asking him, and there's a reason why, this team was really bad last year. Not a lot of changes there. They're still eating that Russell Wilson dead cap money. They're 5-3 now, and I think that's really a credit to Sean Payton's coaching and Bo Nix's willingness to be coached and implement the game plan and not be out there for himself. So I like the Broncos as a dog. In the past, the Ravens had been a truck. They're kind of bullies. They like to run up the score on the weaker teams. But we haven't seen that this year, and I think that's because they've become a more offensive identity team. Lost a little bit on defense, losing Patrick Queen and, of course, defensive coordinator Mike McDonald. So I took the Broncos. What do you think of my pick, 5-star?
Man, we're on the opposite side, unfortunately, on that one.
Yes, sir.
The Ravens, man, they're 1-2 outright when they've been favored by at least 7 points this season. You're right. They have not been blowing guys like they have in the past. They lost outright to the lowly Raiders, to the sorry-ass Browns last week. So they're going to be really pumped for this game. The thing to remember, though, about the Ravens is I can't take too much into those spots because over the period of time of the last 4 seasons, they're 17-3 in these same spots. So I just think that Lamar is going to be really good this week. I think that the Broncos have been playing a little bit over their head. I think that Bo Nix is who I really thought he was at Auburn and at Oregon, and that means he's a system guy, and he just hasn't had enough repetition to play a team like the Ravens. I expect Zach Orr to put some pressure on him this week. If he dials up the pressure, Bo Nix is going to turn the ball over. He's 1-11 passing when pressured the last 2 weeks. I don't know why teams aren't dialing it up more. One thing that I've always noticed about Bo Nix is if you put someone in his face with a rush, he's going to just get the ball away, man. He does not deal good with pressure. He's one of those guys who has a really scary pulse, man. He gets afraid quick if you're hitting him and you're throwing him around. It's going to be all black Halloween weekend. In Baltimore, they're coming out being embarrassed by the Browns where they were looking like buffoons, dropping the ball all over the field. I just got to believe John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson have too much pride to not have these guys focused for this game. I don't think the Broncos are as good as people think that they are. I think that they're playing above their head against weaker competition. And I think that last week got Lamar's attention. I know he's a little sick. That's why the line went down 1.5 points. I don't think he practiced much this week. But even with that said, he knows that offense like the back of his hand now. He's been with the same coordinator for 2 years now, the guy that came over from Georgia. So just me, I'm betting the best team on this one, team that leads the league in yards, and that's the Baltimore Ravens -8.
Oh, man, I got to be scared, when 5 stars laying it.
Oh,
he usually is taking the points in these spots here, so maybe I'm missing something. What do you see here?
Oh, my God. You definitely missed something. The Ravens just lost to the goddamn Cleveland Browns, Jameis Winston, and you about to go take Bo Nix? You missing a lot. Also, I'll give you guys some information. The Ravens didn't rush for a lot of yards, and since Lamar been there, they've been running a lot. Let's see. Since 2022, anytime they run for less than 124 yards, the next game, they are 9-0 against the spread. So we definitely, and they blowing teams out. So we definitely taking the Ravens. You guys could tease Broncos or whatever you want, think the Ravens are in a slump. They're going to look how they've been looking the previews and the rest of the year. Baltimore Ravens, baby, -8. Let's go.
All right. We'll see how that one turns out. But, boy, a little worried about my pick after hearing you guys break this down. I didn't get involved in this game, 5-star, but if I did, I think I would take the Atlanta Falcons. The Dallas Cowboys seem to be – the game that I'm talking about is the Dallas Cowboys. They're in Atlanta taking on the Falcons. The line's 2.5. And Dallas, we see how much Micah Parsons meant to that defense. And that's not just something that's only in Dallas, right? We see it in Pittsburgh, too, how much TJ Watt means to that team. We've seen it in San Francisco when Nick Bosa goes out. So they're not the only solid defense that loses a lot when their main pass rusher is out. But, boy, if you give Kirk Cousins time, he's starting to really develop there. He's coming back from that injury. You can see him feeling a little more comfortable. And he's actually brought Kyle Pitts back into prominence, which makes that offense a lot more diverse. It's not just Drake London and run the ball. So I didn't get involved here, 5-star, but if I did, I'd probably lay it here with the Falcons. What are you seeing?
Yeah, now this one you're on the right side with. I like the Falcons. I think that they're morphing into a really good team. They're going to win that division, especially now with the injuries to the Bucs and what's going on with the Saints. Their defense is underrated. I know they give up some points, but they're kind of good in really two key areas that we as bettors look to. First of all, they're eighth in yards per play. That's really good. Being top 10 in that. And also they're second in yards per completion. So they're limiting opponents, and they also do really good job in the red zone as well. You look at Dallas's defense, man. I just don't see how it's any way that we could trust them when they're giving up 11.8 yards per completion, the highest in the league, going against a team like the Falcons with Kirk Cousins, who, when healthy and he's looked like he's getting all the way back to himself, he's throwing that ball all over the field, man. He's a veteran. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, and he finally has some real weapons over there. He had some good guys at Minnesota, mostly Justin Jefferson, but he has just a great buffet of players here with Atlanta. They got some really good players over there. If you look at their receiving corps, they got every type of guy that you want. They got Drake London, the stretch defenses by going deep down the sidelines, that makes great plays with his hands, has great body control, great catch radius. And then look on the other side, Darnell Mooney works over the middle, great at running short and intermediate patterns. And then you got Ray McLeod. He's just a gadget guy that they can run all types of things with. Has good hands, used to be a really good special teams player. Bijan Robinson, modern day Marshall Faulk. He can catch. He can, run the ball really well. I like everything about Atlanta right now. The only thing that I don't like is how Raheem Morris manages in game. But luckily for us, he's going against one of the worst in the game when he looks across the field in the Cowboys coach. So, man, the Cowboys playing out the strength. You got one problem in this game that you need to worry about, spread, and that's that the Cowboys keep losing, because I'm hearing some little talk out that area in town that Jared might be crashing out. He might be trying to bottom out in the offseason, move off Dak, and draft Shador. And we know that Prime would love Shador as the Cowboys quarterback. That's the only place he'll take before the Raiders. So be careful of that. So you're on the right side with Atlanta, but watch for Dallas bottoming all the way out and going to get a quarterback this year. Preferably.
I don't want that, man. Man, the Raiders are terrible this year, and there's so many bad teams. At least the Jets won yesterday. I didn't want to see them take our pick, so that was the only silver lining from last night. They got their third win. It might be a while before Las Vegas gets their third win.
And I think Pierce, not to cut you off before Cino goes, just real quick to piggyback on what you said, to keep in mind this too, spread. Remember the type of coach you got over there in Antonio Pierce. He's kind of a Brian Flores kind of guy. He's trying to win, and they're telling him lose, but he don't want to lose. So that might end up hurting them a little bit down the road. They might win some games they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, the only thing we got going for them, right? We talked about that guard play in Houston last night. The guard play for the Raiders might be even worse, especially on the right side of the ball. So even if they call the right plays, they can't execute them. Cino, what do you see here when Atlanta's hosting the Cowboys?
5-star broke it down well. Atlanta, they got the 12th best scores offense in the league. Dallas, they rank 31st on defense. And Cousins been playing phenomenal. He threw over 500 yards against Tampa Bay. And who the hell Dallas got over there? Who could Dak throw to besides CeeDee Lamb? And we all know Raheem Morris, Mr. Cross Your Hands. He's a defensive-minded coach, and he's going to double team this guy. He's going to stay on CeeDee Lamb. Then who Dak going to throw to? What are you going to do? So I'm tired of the Cowboys. I'm definitely with 5-star on this one. Atlanta Falcons.
Right. I love what you just said. I'm tired of the Cowboys.
For real.
Man, aren't we all? I'm just worried the NFL don't want them to become irrelevant either. The Detroit Lions are heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers. And 5-star, before we jumped on today, I saw news that Jordan Love did participate in practice today, but he's limited in practice. My guess he's going to be out there, and if that's the case, I like the Packers, but I'm not going to get involved in it until I know who's the starting quarterback. What are your thoughts on this one?
How's Jared Goff? He's hurt a little bit too, right?
Yeah, but he's going to play for sure. I mean, I don't know if he's 100%, but he'll be out there.
This is going to be the game of the season right now so far. Really going to be exciting. Two of the best quarterbacks in the league. If Jordan Love plays, which I think he will play, because he has to feel Malik Willis on his back. Because the more Malik Willis looks good coming from Tennessee and he wasn't that good, it makes Jordan Love, what he's doing, not look so impressive. You know what I mean? It kind of makes him look like maybe he's a system guy and this is Matt LaFleur. So I think that he'll be itching to play for sure this game, and I'm pretty sure that he will play. I'm on Green Bay on this one. You guys know I love Green Bay, and they're a type of team that I don't see them losing twice in a row. This will be 3 straight times they've lost to Detroit at home. And I know that Matt LaFleur has to be talking to his team about that. The last 2 visits to Lambeau, Detroit has came out on top. One thing to look for on this one, a lot of the pop in the Lions offense is from 2 guys, and one of them is going to be out this game. And that's my guy Jameson Williams. He's going to be out, 2-game suspension. So they're going to miss him going over the top. Believe that. They'll probably try to run the ball, keep running some little short passes to St. Brown and things like that. But I just like where Jeff Hadley and that Packers defense is going right now. They've been turning people over, especially at home in Lambeau. I think that they caused Jared Goff to have one of his off games, one of the few off games he's had in the last couple of years, because he's been on fire, man. Now they're going outside from the comfort of the dome. Yeah, give me Green Bay at home. They run the ball too good, man. I think they'll be able to control this one. Give me Green Bay plus the points and money line.
Yeah, one of the few outdoor games for the Lions here this season. So, how do you approach it?
Same exact way. Jared Goff has been playing some good football. They're scoring over 40 points down there every game these last few games. And you going into Lambeau, one of my favorite places to play the Green Bay Packers, and 2.5 points. It's easy money. It's a no-brainer. Like 5 Star been saying all show, if the line look funny, it's probably money. We're on Green Bay on this one.
All right. I also played the Sunday night game at the Indianapolis Colts against the Minnesota Vikings. And once I saw that Joe Flacco was in there, I wanted to make sure to take the Indianapolis Colts. I thought it would move the line, but it did not. I was thinking I'd grab it at 5.5. Flacco gets announced. I thought there'd be some money come back. I might have a chance for a middle if I wanted to buy out of it. But that is not the case. There is no middle available right now. The line stayed exactly the same. And, we talked about a little bit on Wednesday, 5 Star, how they did address the loss of Darisaw by adding Cam Robinson. So we'll see how that much helps. The loss of Darisaw and the addition of Flacco were the strengths of my handicap. So one of them kind of got thrown away, but also we'll see how effective he is in his very first game in that new system. I'm not sure how similar the systems are. So it's not like going from one Shanahan system to another there. What is your thoughts here on this game? Because I took the points with the Colts.
Yeah, I'll be on the same side as you. I gave an extensive breakdown of that on Ski's show earlier. It's simple as this. Now the Colts are going to ball. Like, their defense is going to play harder. Their offensive line is going to block harder. Their receivers are going to run their routes harder. Jonathan Taylor's back. Everything's going right with Flacco at quarterback for them. Now Shane Steichen can really call his offense because they had no passing game with Anthony Richardson. The receivers are like, I'm not about to run hard right now. I'm not even going to get the ball because, he can't see me. So Flacco is one of those guys that's a veteran. He's been quarterbacking so long. He has a Super Bowl ring, came from Delaware and became, a Hall of Fame player. He probably was a fringe Hall of Famer. Man, Flacco is going to be out there throwing that thing. You know that. As long as they block up for him, and Minnesota isn't able to just stay in the backfield on him and he gets time. And we know the Colts have a pretty good offensive line. I think that they're going to score some points. Minnesota showed their weaknesses in the defensive backfield. Like, they're older, as we've talked about before, in the defensive backfield. I think Harrison Smith is a Hall of Famer, but right now he cannot cover. Just simple as that. We know that Gilmore is in the back end of his career. They're just not as good as they need to be in the defensive backfield, where if they don't get pressure, they can really be exposed. That's why them and the Ravens are battling for last place and giving up passing yards, man. I think that the Colts can win this game money line, actually, but for sure they keep it close. Remember this, the Texans lost last night. With the Texans losing last night, the Colts are 1 game out of first place. They'll be fired up for this game, and we're going to see the best effort from them. They're 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. They're 5-0 against the spread head-to-head against the Vikings throughout career matchups. So I'm going with the Colts on this one, plus 5.5.
You want to join us, Sino?
Yeah, I'm definitely on that side also. Just put it like this. This was the same situation the Vikings was in last week, and they didn't win the game. Simple as that.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Monday Night Football real quick, 5 Star. I do not have a play on this one. Bucks have taken a little bit of money. This was plus 9. It's gone down to 8.5. That doesn't surprise me. Kansas City has been winning, but they haven't put up a lot of points. I think they've been 27, and I think it's the highest point total they've had this year. They've completely flipped their identity. This is a defense-first team. So when you're looking at that and the potentially lower score, those points do become more valuable. If the Buccaneers are going to get going, Jalen McMillan's got to have to make a statement here. We're going to see more from Cade Otton, of course, but a different team for Baker Mayfield and those Bucs. How are you approaching this one?
They're in trouble. Simple as that.
Yes, sir.
Kansas City, as it went off this year offensively all year, Todd Bowles is going to allow them to. The Bucs are headed in the wrong direction, man. Baker Mayfield was a product of some really top-notch receivers, a Hall of Famer Mike Evans and an All-Pro on the other side, and they're both hurt. And now he has the only guy that he can trust is Iden. That's it. He can't trust McMillan. He isn't ready yet. I watched last week when they played Atlanta. I had them against Atlanta at home, and I saw what happened. I was like, this kid isn't ready, because every time I saw Baker looking up and he's scanning the field trying to hit him, he's not where he needs to be. So he's forced to just go to where he can trust, and that's that tight end, and that's not going to be enough against this Kansas City defense. The Chiefs are on a mission this year, and I think now that since they've gotten to this point, now they might be thinking about going undefeated and three-peating. Like, who would be able to top that? So watch for Patrick Mahomes. They're not going to be on him. He won't have to be a company man this week, because I guarantee you a lot of people are going to take those points in the books just because it might be 10 points by the time the game starts. I'm going to let Sino tell you what's our rules. Tell him, Sino.
Bro, you taught me that shit. And when y'all was betting against Mahomes against San Francisco, I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Hey, y'all, look right here. Please don't bet against Patrick Mahomes, y'all. Look, teams gone in Patrick Mahomes against this in this situation right here. They 1-13 straight up. And what they is 4-9-1 against the spread. Yeah. Y'all, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are about to get blown the fuck. Excuse my language. You can take the Kansas City Chiefs -14. You can do an alternate spread and have some fun with this one.
Yeah. I agree.
Go to the people segment. Give them the winners. We've talked about a lot of games so far this weekend. 5-star, what's your favorite one?
We're going to give them a couple. You know, I like to go into the weekend showing some love. That's my thing. That's what I like to do. Make it where you guys can stack your paper. All right, first, let's start with the tennis, man. Let's go to the hard courts. We're going to go over to Hong Kong. We got Yui Yan against Katie Bolter. And that's going to be a really good match. But one thing going for Bolter is she has a lot of confidence of beating Yan. I know the Yan is playing at her home court. She just beat Keenan last night and we took her, but I don't think that she gets it done against Bolter. I think Bolter's strikes are too precise right now. So we're going to roll with Katie Bolter to win tonight in China on the hard court. Then we're going to go to college football. Let's go to Saturday. We'll start with Navy -6.5 first half against Rice. I think that Navy's going to be really locked in this week after so many turnovers early in the game last week against Notre Dame. Dealing with a Rice team that struggles to move the ball, struggles to throw. I think we see a good performance by Coach Brian Newberry and his squad, especially early. Navy averages 7.3 yards a play, only trailing Miami for most yards per play. They still lead the whole country in points per play. So give me Navy first half -6.5. And then we're going to ride with old Joe Flacco. Let's go with the Colts +5.5 on Sunday Night Football. I think that we get a really good performance, and you see what type of offense Shane Steichen really has as we watch as Minnesota kind of comes back to the team we thought that they were preseason.
Sino, what's your play?
Hey, Cena gonna keep it like this. Look, everything I said in the breakdowns, we make all those official plays because Cena really feel he about to sweep. But we're gonna go to the hard court tonight. The New York Knicks, man, that's my team right now. They've been getting me paid. They finally getting it together. They're on the road right now. I think they like 20-0 against the spread in this situation. Look, 3 units, free max bet from Cena right here. New York Knicks. I'm not giving it out on Twitter. That's the privilege for listening to the show. Let's go, New York Knicks tonight.
All right, I'll give out a game for Sunday. I'm going to take Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills against this shell of a Miami Dolphins defense. I know Dolphins should look better on offense this week, especially with Tua again, another week under center. But we saw what this Bills defense was able to do against them in Miami, where they had that home field advantage earlier in the year. Now they're going to head back to Buffalo. This has been a terrible matchup for McDaniel as long as he's been in Miami. McDermott's had his number, and I expect that to continue. Bill's going to get another easy victory. Give me the Buffalo Bills -6.
All right, you heard it, guys. Another week down. We're on week 10 in college football, week 9 on the NFL. We're already at the half point mark for the NFL. And in college football, man, the season's almost over. So, man, let's do the best we can to always be about carpe diem. Seize the day. Let's make some money. See, anything for the people before we get out of here?
Again, man, appreciate you guys. Hey, and look, we give out more winners than losers. If you get one loser, don't go bet your whole bankroll. That's your fault. That's your problem. So don't come up giving us hell or fussing and blah. Go back and check the goddamn stat sheet. That's what you can do. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Hey, nope. I lose some 5-star, lose some spread, lose some. But guess what? We win more than we lose, and we transparent with it. That's the best thing about the wagering world. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button.
Yes, the thing for the people spread before we get out of here.
Thank God for college football, man. It's so much better. I'm putting all these plays in right now, and I appreciate all the wisdom you guys been giving us.
Man, we wouldn't have a show without you, Spread. You kind of our NFL guy, man. You do a really good job with that in NBA, man. We appreciate you, and never let the haters deter you from knowing what you are, one of the best sports bettors in the world. Guys, been a great show. We started out talking about the NFL, these conspiracy theories. A lot of people always criticize conspiracy theorists. And I want you guys to know where that term came from. It came from all of the people who kind of questioned JFK's assassination. They made that up many years ago to label people, and now it's kind of like when a gang, like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, to point at them. There's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box. There's nothing wrong with questioning. So always be one to question. Don't be afraid to say why. So open your mind up to new things. Don't be afraid to be yourself. This is the wager world. It's us versus the machine. We'll see you guys.
As always, I dedicate this show to the greatest Houston sports fan that I know, and that's my father, John H. Lindsay. I do this for you, Dad.